If I tell you Coney Island once decided what fun looked like for the entire world, you might not believe me. Today, people see hot dogs, roller coasters, and a crowded beach. But over 100 years ago, this place was something else entirely. It was louder than Las Vegas, riskier than Hollywood, and more dangerous than Disneyland ever dared to be. At the turn of the 20th century, Coney Island wasn't just an amusement park. It was an experiment in electricity, pleasure, chaos, and human desire. Before Manhattan became the center of nightlife, before Times Square glowed at night, Coney Island was already shining. In fact, it was one of the first places on Earth fully lit by electricity. People came not just to ride rides, but to see light itself. Entire families took trains just to witness glowing towers, electric fountains, and streets that looked like science fiction. Some visitors reportedly cried the first time they saw it. For many immigrants, this was their first taste of wonder in America. But the magic came at a cost. Three massive amusement parks, Steeplechase, Luna Park, and Dreamland, competed brutally with each other. They pushed limits, they broke rules, and sometimes they broke people. Dreamland, the most ambitious of them all, displayed live attractions that would shock us today. Premature babies in incubators were exhibited to the public because hospitals refused to fund the technology. Thousands of babies actually survived because of these displays. But imagine the emotional contradiction. Life being saved as entertainment. And then there were the sideshows. People with disabilities were placed on stages, not to educate, but to shock, to amuse, to sell tickets. Coney Island became a place where society's boundaries disappeared. Class didn't matter. Rules didn't matter. Nightfall turned it into something raw and unfiltered. Alcohol flowed freely. Women danced without chaperones. Interracial crowds mixed in ways that were rare for the time. For many Americans, this was the first place they ever felt truly free. But beneath the lights, something darker was growing. Coney Island burned. Not once, not twice, again and again. Fire after fire wiped entire parks off the map because everything was built quickly and cheaply. Dreamland burned to the ground in 1911 while spectators stood watching, unsure if it was part of the show. That fire didn't just destroy buildings. It marked the beginning of the end. Because while America was changing, Coney Island stayed frozen in its past. And that's when the fun slowly turned into survival. As the Great Depression hit, the magic lights dimmed. Families no longer came for wonder. They came for escape. Coney Island became rougher, darker, more desperate. The beach that once symbolized freedom turned into a refuge for people who had nowhere else to go. Crime increased, gangs formed, and the laughter started to sound different. During World War II, the rides rusted as steel was taken for the war effort. The crowds thinned. The future moved inland, toward cars, suburbs, and television. By the 1950s and 60s, city planners decided Coney Island was no longer magical. It was obsolete. Entire neighborhoods were demolished. High-rise public housing replaced wooden boardwalk homes. What was once built for joy became a symbol of neglect. And yet, Coney Island refused to die. Nathan's hot dogs survived not because they were fancy, but because they were cheap during hard times. The Cyclone roller coaster survived demolition because locals fought for it. The Mermaid Parade was born not as a tourist attraction, but as rebellion, a reminder that weirdness still belonged here. Even today, Coney Island carries ghosts. Under the boardwalk, old ride foundations still exist. Under the sand, pieces of burned amusement parks remain buried. Every summer, millions walk over history without realizing it. Coney Island isn't just an amusement park that faded. It's a mirror of America itself. A place built by immigrants, fueled by innovation, destroyed by greed and neglect, and kept alive by people who refuse to let it disappear. So the next time you hear waves hitting the shore and screams from a roller coaster, remember, you're not just hearing fun. You're hearing echoes of a place that once taught the world how to dream, And what happens when dreams are treated like disposable entertainment? Coney Island didn't just make history, it survived it.